All right, what's the scoops with Holy Week? That's this week right now we are celebrating. It is upon us, and thousands throughout the islands are preparing for Easter celebrations this weekend.
You know, I do love gathering as a family. You know, there's the food, there's the fun, activities, the fellowship. But my favorite will always be the music. And there's a special interfaith Easter choral program coming up this Saturday. Here to tell us more about it is our sister of the Honolulu Stake of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This is Kaumakapili. She's our music coordinator. Hi, sis. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me back.
Oh, yes,
oh, yes.
Absolutely.
This is redemption, because last week I totally messed up. Last time you were here, I messed up your last name. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, just like Jesus redeemed us, I got to redeem myself.
Forgiven.
Okay,
You see how he did it? He had me say your name.
Yes.
Not you.
All right, Poma, let's ask you, this is a musical collaboration between three churches, the LDS Church, Kawaiaha'o, and Kaumakapili. How did this come about?
Yeah, well, last year we combined with Kawaiaha'o Church. They invited us into their meeting house, and we were able to participate in an Easter program that they were hosting. And so we took our Samoan church choir, there was a Tongan primary choir, and of course we have to represent our Hawaiian choir.
Yes.
And, it was so awesome that we wanted to Honolulu this year. And so being that Kawaiaha'o is currently under renovation, in case you haven't seen,
Yes.
some of you may
Yes.
notice while you're
The
driving
scaffolding,
by.
yeah.
Yes. We offered to host, and we're so excited to do this because as long as I've been around, I've never seen something like this happening in our Honolulu Stake Tabernacle, which is another historic building that carries a wonderful mo'olelo.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this building, the Honolulu Stake Tabernacle, was known and dubbed as the first and last tabernacle. It was the first tabernacle that the church built outside of the continental United States, but it was also the last tabernacle that was ever built because of the grandeur of the architecture. I think they just didn't want it overshining, you know, they didn't want it to turn into a competition. So after that, you can see all meeting houses are kind of a standard. You can identify which is our church, right? But this meeting house was built 4 months before the bombing of Pearl Harbor. It was finished 4 months and dedicated before the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And what's interesting is that in the dedicatory prayer, President David O. McKay specifically put a blessing upon it that it would be safe from any effects of the war that was happening at the time.
Wow.
And even after that happened, it then became known as Malamakoa, a place where soldiers who were stopping over were able to find refuge and kind of stay while they were, you know, stationed here.
And I just make sure, this is the one at Beretania, right? And
Yes.
Kalakaua. That, oh, okay,
Right at
yes.
They had that,
Crossroads.
it has the huge mosaic of Jesus
Yes.
Christ and the reflecting pool. So tabernacles, by definition, are meant to be gathering places, and that's of all faiths, not just ours. And
Yes.
so
And
this
this-
is really exciting.
Absolutely. This is a beautiful gathering place. And the fact that Kaumakapili is also joining in, I love that. So we're going to have choirs from all three. Can you tell our viewers what the event is called and how they can be a part of it?
Well, the event focuses on the greater love that Jesus Christ, our Savior, had for all of us in his atoning sacrifice, and then also that he rose, and we have the gift of resurrection because of him. And so Aloha Nui A'e is the translation for that greater love, and we're very excited to be singing songs around that, but more so, Auntie Nola took it up a notch, and she will be doing compositions and arrangements from three of our beloved composers, David Kalama, Debbie Keksi, and also Aaron Mahi.
Yes.
And more so, Kaumakapili Church is bringing their choir, and their choir director has just let me know that they actually wrote a song that's based around the theme. After she heard what the theme was, she wrote a special melody that they're going to present that night as
Chicken
well.
skin.
That's
So
It's called
beautiful.
Aloha Nui A'e.
I love it. So when is the interfaith concert? And we said Saturday. Give us all the details. Once
It's
again.
on Saturday. It'll start at 6 o'clock. All three churches will be represented. Another interesting fact is that our church will be represented by a youth choir from youth all the way from the east side to Aiea.
Wow.
And so we're excited to have the youth represent our church. And you know, another thing that I wanted to mention, back in those times when we were building our meeting houses, we had to fundraise. So we did luau's. Ike Fernandez was a big contributor in the beginning because he's also a member of our church. But the saints at Kalakaua were the ones who gave the first donation to the building of this church that they would never ever be able to see or step foot in. So, you know, speaking to the faith of not just our church, but the faith of our lahui in a higher power and something, you know, just akua, the idea of akua and how that carries us through all of our challenges and hard times. And so
Beautiful, Pomaikai. Thank you so much, sister. Aloha Nui A'e coming up this Saturday, 6 p.m. 3 churches coming together in praise and worship for Holy Week and Easter. Mahalo nui, sis.
See you there.
We'll see you Saturday. All right, let's send things over to our Island News desk right now. Leo Koholokula is standing by with our top stories. Hi, sis.
Hey, you guys, and so good to see a familiar face. But I got you on the news side right now. An 82-year-old Oahu man, he's dead after an early morning